Rawr. Welcome to Action Unwind. I'm Drew. This is Dean, and we are talking Jada Toys. Jada, you're crushing it.
Jada Toys. We had a couple on the lineup here right now. Obviously, the Street Fighter line is, knocking it out of the park.
Unhinged.
But let's pause for a second and talk about two of the smaller lines. Maybe we'll start with Mega Man.
Yeah.
Mega Man, Mega Man 2 might have been the first Nintendo game I actually played, even before Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Mega Man 2 was my game. I loved it. My brother and I would spend hours and hours as kids playing this game. As soon as we saw this, the articulation, the figure itself is phenomenal. I love the
shine
little,
of Mega Man is so shiny.
The little stands it comes with for the effects, the flame effect here for him for his blaster. They're doing some great things. The thing I love about it is they're kind of working through the bad guys for the first game right now. As I just mentioned, I am a big Mega Man 2 fan. I believe it's Woodman and Bubbleman are the first two announcements for the baddies for that line. And I'm going to get all those. I'll probably stop and just do, if I can control myself.
Just Mega Man 2?
Just Mega Man 2, because I was thinking Mega Man 1 and 3 and the rest, and then when you get to Mega Man X and that, I played all those too, but Mega Man 2, that was it. That was home for me. And this figure is phenomenal. Love everything about it. They're also kind of releasing the alternate suits. As he beats a bad guy, he takes on that power, that suit.
Upgrades?
Yeah. So those are coming, but sign me up for all of them too.
And it's a good scale too. Great. You look at the actual image of Mega Man, what's your height, what's your scale? I think they've done a great job with it. And just the stands, that's a huge thing for me. Just having, not having to super glue or, nanotape that to the blaster or anything like that. It's a nice little touch to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
That, as you talked about scaling, we were talking about this before we started rolling today, just about Marvel vs. Capcom and how cool that game was, and how Marvel's releasing some of the figures in that style for the game. Mega Man was in that game as well, so now you're kind of mix and matching and have them all together in your display, so that's great.
Absolutely.
I'll leave it at Mega Man. Run us through our bad boy over here,
Buddy.
The orange guy.
This is my initial... This is the first Jada figure I've ever purchased. And,
it's not a bad purchase at all.
When you're gonna do something, you gotta do it right. You know what I mean? No, honestly, I know we were a little bit off the Richter there at the beginning, but Jada... you guys are doing so good. And I know you don't need the justification from us two, but you're going to get it. The fact that you can make a potato chip mascot, and it's one of my favorite figures. It sits at home. It sits right in the middle of everything else. Even down to the actual Cheeto.
The Cheeto Club.
It looks delicious. It looks like you could defend yourself in a fight. But I mean, the details and just the kind of... I don't know who's designing these figures, but the thought of putting Cheeto dust on his fingers,
that's
hilarious. It comes with a little bag of chips. This is not the flaming hot Chester Cheeto or Cheetah.
Oh yeah, they did another.
They did a flaming hot version, But I mean, some people I know that they're kind of cereal figures, but you know what? They're fun little things to put on your shelf. I'm curious if they're going to be getting into the Tony the Tigers or...
They did. They announced them. There's already Tony Tiger has already been announced.
Jada.
There's been not even a render, an actual figure up on a display as one of the cons last year they showed.
Gosh.
But you talked about that, the cereal mascots, right? Like Frankenberry and the rest. There's a guy that
Count
we follow.
Chocula, I think.
There's a guy that we follow on Instagram. His name is Ryan Clark. We'll tag him down below. He had posted this shot the other day. It was so great. It was the Marvel scientist, the egghead.
Oh,
he had
okay,
it set up with that guy, and he had Frankenberry on the table coming up, and it was unbelievable. It was so great. Definitely give him a follow. But yeah, the things you can do with your figure photography, but the idea that Jada has gone and been the first to go and grab the food mascots, cereal mascots, all of that. Awesome. And
absolutely.
Keep them coming.
And just, I got to say the quality, man. The plastic is good. Though he's got skinny arms and legs, I'm never hesitant to move or pose them. It's weighted nice, interchangeable heads, different hands and stuff like that. It's a fun little figure to have the collection. But I'll be honest, my excitement at the beginning of the episode comes from this line that you are collecting right now, because it gives me hope for video games I used to play as a kid as well. And I want to talk about these Street Fighter figures.
Let's just say, like, we know that Street Fighter figures have been done many times. I think Storm is probably the most notable for doing them. But, for the price point, what Jada is doing with Street Fighter right now is phenomenal. I think that every figure from the series has been announced. There's the next few that are on pre-order right now. But the ones that have come so far, we've talked about it, the detail, the articulation, the flame effects. I have DJs right here for us to take a look at. Just again, same as Mega Man on that little clear stand. They're super durable. There's a bit of flex to them as well. Just the coloring of them just make them look like they're jumping right out of the video game, which is fantastic. Guile and DJ have this like actual keychain style. Keychain? 2 chains? They actually have keychain style chains, which are awesome. The dog tag.
The old Sig Plug necklace.
Yeah, but I mean, all the little Easter eggs too. Guile comes with his comb for when he's doing his celebration and rush of the hair. These are just incredible. We talked a little bit about them, I believe, in our first season. I have them on the back right now.
We only had a couple, though. You only had a couple.
Fei Long was one of the first releases. He was one of my favorites in the game. I love that we're getting now some repaints as well. I don't know if I'll go as deep as getting all the repaints, but just the core group, getting them in hand, the soft rubber.
We talked about his gi.
The gi, having a soft gi. Yeah, it's always good having a soft gi. But the belts come off. They're just, I've seen some people do some great shots with Cammy recently too. Just the flexibility on Cammy doing all of her wicked style splits kicks and all of that is, and these things are great.
Dalsum with his interchangeable stretchy. I was always curious how they're going to do his limbs, and the fact that you can do the stretchy limbs for all of them. I remember playing my brother in Street Fighter, and he was always Dalsum, and he always kicked my ass with it. And I could never get near him because he was all stretchy. But soft goods cape on M.
Wired
Bison,
cape at the bottom too.
Love it. Posable. The figure photography is off the chain with these. And one question too: do they have? I noticed that DJ and Cammy, they have screaming faces, which I love. Do they have interchangeable heads?
Yeah, they all have interchangeable heads.
That's unreal.
Yeah, all interchangeable heads. Good. Most have the stand with an effect of their one of their moves.
And butterfly joints too, for the most part. It looks like.
I'm excited to see with some of the cons that were photos were posted. You can see the scaling. Sag gets bigger. E Honda looks a little bit bigger too, and I'm really excited to see E Honda in hand because obviously one of E Honda's classic and famed moves is the 100 hand slap. So I'm wondering how they're going to do that. Is it going to be some sort of multiple hand in? For
isn't there a kick effect
for Ken and for Ryu with their Hadouken? There's a set of hands inside the flame, which is pretty cool. So you can get some straight on shots and all that. So I could see E Honda having that. I haven't seen it. If you have seen it, feel free to post the picture down below. But I haven't seen the effects for E Honda just yet. But as you mentioned, with how great Street Fighter is, it opens the door for other classic video games. I know the one that's dear to your heart is Mortal Kombat.
Oh man, and sadly enough, I've heard rumors that no, there's no current thought right now for them to do it. But and again, it's no shot to Storm Collectibles. I just don't have 100 to 150 to spend on a figure, and that's not to say they're overpriced. I think that it's justified with their quality. But this style, it looks like they've jumped off the screen. I said at the beginning of the episode, I don't know if it's the sculpting or the paint. It looks phenomenal, and I can only imagine what Jada's capable of doing with a line like Mortal Kombat or MK2 with the effects and everything. You could easily have Scorpion and just think of all of the fatalities and stuff you could tie into the line, and the quality of figure for the price point.
Yeah.
That is huge. It's not to say these are underpriced. I think the price matches the quality of figure, and I don't think you're settling with this line at all.
No.
If you were to collect these, and you look at them, they look just like the game. But one of the most influential games growing up for me and my brother, my oldest brother, he still to this day plays it all the time, is Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Because we were big Marvel guys growing up. So, I mean, the scaling of them, I don't know if we want to talk about, the size.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they obviously will scale with other figures, and with Marvel and getting some figures there's an Iron Man that just came out with the big cannon gun that is key in that game as well. So there's lots of figures that will scale, or these will scale perfectly with the other lines, which is awesome. The thing that I also love about this line is that there's an end to it. I'm not going to be going down this rabbit hole of constantly chasing, collecting, and being a completist. I don't need to be because I'm going to get exactly like every figure from the series has been announced, as I mentioned. So once I get them, I'm going to be content. I have them all, and we're good to go. But as we open the door, hopefully Jada's seeing some great success on their end, the same as what we can see from our little corner of the globe here. Let's get Mortal Kombat, let's get Final Fight, let's get Double Dragon, let's get deep into the Nintendo line.
Any of those video games growing up,
first iteration platforms, like there's so many key
one for
games.
Me is the Metroid.
Yeah.
Metroid, like Super Metroid and stuff. If Jada ever brought out a Metroid figure and you could do like a Zero Suit Samus, you could do the different levels, kind of like Mega Man, how his suit upgrades, Samus's goes through some changes. I would be over the moon if we had some Samus figures make their way in.
Yeah, I'd be a big fan if we could see some Ocarina of Time figures too.
Oh, so exciting.
Ganondorf, the whole bit. It would be great.
Yeah.
So that's it. Jada Toys. Make sure you start getting these into your collection. As you said, price point is fantastic. All the accessories you get with each figure.
The scaling's good.
Is unbelievable.
And that Marvel Capcom combo would be great. Marvel Legends scale with these great. And, there's Cable, there's Spider-Man. They released that Blackheart Build-A-Figure, which looks, I think it might be on the small side, I don't know, but it looks like exactly the way it was from Marvel vs. Capcom. Yep. Hulk, Juggernaut, all those and stuff. You got a couple options and stuff. So pretty exciting. If you're even remotely curious about these figures, honestly, buy one. And just, you won't regret it. You won't start with one, and then you'll have them all for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's going to do it for Jada Toys. We're going to transition to another big line that we are huge fans of, Lord of the Rings by Diamond.
Yeah, man. Lord of the Rings, I've watched these movies countless times. I love the fantasy. I like a 3-hour movie. I love what they did with it. Peter Jackson did a good job with it. It was quite an undertaking. And these figures, man, Diamond's done a great job with them. I will say, if you're looking for articulated figures, these do have articulation, but these are what I would call a posing figure. The realism, the paint.
A showpiece.
A showpiece, indeed. It's very much one of those things where, for what I need, these hit the mark perfectly. We got Merry and Pippin, we got Sam and Frodo, and the big man and Gandalf, and then we've got Gimli over on the far side there. These are the ones that I currently have. Still looking for Aragorn, Legolas, and we're still waiting in Canada on the release of The Witch King and a couple others. There's a whole Build-A-Figure thing to it as well. But for what I have right now, I'm very excited, man. I love the detail. One thing I will say, Diamond, man, they give you a lot. Like, if you are looking to change your posing up with these, like Sam comes with probably 14 different things, including the friggin' elven bread and stuff.
I do like that it was a Merry or Pippin that came with the dragon firework.
I think it was Pippin came with like the dragon firework and like
amazing.
Just those things that not every company would think to throw in. Gimli's got a swappable head. The other head is extremely detailed. His helmet's off. His hair is down. He's letting his hair down. He's had a long week of adventuring, right? For sure. Gandalf, the hat comes off, fits on pretty good. He's got the swords and stuff that I will say I'm impressed with the swords and like the detail of them. The sheath that they come with is great. But like I said, you're a little limited on some of the articulation, but I mean, for me, they absolutely hit home. The one thing that I would like to see, and I might have to buy either Sam, Merry, Pippin again, is Frodo is great. Love the sculpt. The face and the head sculpts are great. Comes with good things. He does come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but he doesn't come with one of the green capes.
Which might be maybe why.
Which I think is why. Which is a fair compromise, but just as a heads up, if you want a cape to go with him so he can kind of fit the whole look, you're going to have to buy another one of these in the fold. So,
and if I could recommend, buy another Sam so you get 2 loaves of Elvish bread.
Elvish bread.
The other thing I love about them is the coloring. We're always fans of the color, the paint apps a little bit. Yeah. These, again, just with the darkness of the movie, they're very matte, very kind of just no really color pop on them. They're just very matte, and it just rings true to what the movie brings you. It's awesome. The detail is great, as you mentioned. All the detail and all the weapons, just, Gimli's beard, even his braid in the back. Just, again, fantastic detail. Also, what I like is, what I think I've seen in the stores, is the orcs. One of my favorite orcs. I know he has a name. You know this series better than I do, but the orc that has, like, the white hand on his
a couple
thing.
of them have, but like the main guy who kills Boromir, probably in the beginning.
I forget which line or which company did it, but way back you got 6-inch Lord of the Rings, and they had just every figure
I
from the
actually
movie.
don't remember that line either.
I forget the name
Let us know.
of what brand made it, but I had that orc.
Did you?
And I had like the detail on those, like the arrows, the bow, actually had a string on the bow as well.
That's unreal.
They were fantastic and probably in a bin somewhere for sure. But I like that for how detailed those were. It was kind of like when, older companies, like, again, we've talked about wrestling in the past. Jax did the first kind of run of it.
Yeah.
And then, companies over the years have dialed it in, made them a little bit more articulated, more features as well. So, excited to probably grab one of those when I see it next.
And like for me, we talked about it with Street Fighter, right? This is a set that I can collect. And then, once I get Legolas and Aragon and a couple others, once I get, kind of the fellowship, if you will, I'll be good. Like, that's all I'm going to need. It's satisfying to have that completion of everything. But I mean, I've said it before, I've said it a couple times, I would really like to see companies push into almost, I think they refer to them as play sets, but it's like, I would love to see some like diorama pieces. Like I'm a big fan of those kits where maybe you could have like, on the adventure, there's God knows how many different settings that they've been in.
Yeah.
And instead of having to always build your own custom stuff with styrofoam or whatever, like just release a kit, like a box that has the different types of things in it and stuff. You know, where Frodo gets stabbed on the top of that huge like peninsula thing. I can't remember the name of it right now. But like that'd be wicked if they released that set. That'd be an awesome piece to have these posed in.
Even that scene where they're in that cave and was it Mary knocks one of the skeletons down that well,
yes,
and it wakes up all the orcs, like even like that kind of like area with
the Mines of Moria,
yeah.
Well, and this is another thing too. Like just a little thing goes a long way. I think too is like the box. This is the box that Gimli came in, and I wasn't sure if there was like a regular release Gimli. This is the only way to get Gimli. It's like a special release, and he comes with a lot of stuff. But it's pretty cool that they did the box as the Gates of Moria. This is where I just keep all the different things, all the bits, all the bits and pieces. But yeah, like just like that's a nice. I like the look of the box. It's kind of the display piece. I keep it as the Mines of Moria gate and stuff. I gotta say though, one of my it's a simple scene, but one of my favorite scenes. I don't know if it's a kraken or a squid or whatever, but it takes place with Mines of Moria. I would love. I don't know if it would be, $120 Canadian or whatever to get it, but the squid, the kraken that attacks them at the Gates of Moria, I would love to see that. I would love to see a Nazgul. I would love to see, I can't remember for the life of me the name of those dogs that the orcs ride in the movie. I would love to see some of that. Like, I think that they have it in them. The detail of these figures, I would love to see it on the animals and the beasts of the Lord of the Rings.
I like that figure and that character again. My memory with it is names are not so great, but he said he rides the dog, but he's like that white orc and he has that hook or that spear in his hand.
Yes, that's from Hobbit.
Is that from Hobbit?
That's the thing though, is like that's where I'm hoping they take these, is like they have the whole Hobbit series and you have all the different dwarves from the Hobbit series that they could release. You have the orcs, you have, that'd
be something cool, a little bit different to get all the hobbits and all like the friends from that fellowship from the Hobbit series.
Maybe even get as aspirational to do Smaug.
Yeah,
and like that'd be crazy. That'd be a lights out moment to see a Diamond Select scale.
There's
dragon.
companies that are doing it, isn't it? Mythic Legions.
Mythic Legions. Oh man, so, I've already thought about the repaint. Like I don't know, but I don't know if I'm that caliber. But yeah, if you collect these, especially if you're into the figure photography with these, throw some of your photos on Instagram and stuff. We'd love to feature them and take a look at them and stuff. Figure photography is going to be one of my goals for 2025. These guys will absolutely be in it. I love the different settings that I've seen online with these and the creativeness of these. And I just find it funny, too, where I've seen people take, these figures and, like, paint them and customize them into, like, Harry Potter figures and stuff like that. And they've swapped out Gandalf with Dumbledore and stuff and done kind of funny, ironic photos, which I think is fun. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. Is there a figure that you want to see? I know I'm excited for the Witch King.
Yep.
I've got him on pre-order. Don't know when he's going to come in, but we get things a little bit late up here in Canada. If you haven't seen in our previous episodes, we talk about that a bit. So patience is a big thing with us with this line. But I love these lines. I love the movie side of it, and it's it's nice where you can bring the movie to life on a display. Really, really good. Well done, Diamond.
And I think that these are fantastic figures to have in your collection for sure. So that's going to do it for this episode today. Again, Jada Toys Street Fighter line. and the other items that they're doing, Mega Man, as well as the food mascots, if you will. Check out Chester Cheeto.
Will they
He's
do an
fantastic.
Oscar Mayer Wiener van?
For the Malta ride. That'd be sweet.
The
Get
mobile
wiener.
hot.
That's good. And Diamond Select, the Lord of the Rings. As you can see, we got some of the fellowship here right now. So again, thanks again, as always, for taking the time to unwind, and we'll see you on the next episode.